So today I'm going to be introducing a series to you guys that I've been working on regarding Skyrim. It's going to be an optimization series, but not in the way you guys might expect. It will try to be comprehensive with the uploads of everything that goes on in the game as much as possible, but I may choose for brevity to not upload certain parts that are kind of mundane, like walking from one location to another. In other words, it's going to be an immersive series where I don't really fast travel, and most importantly, I don't use things that make the game broken by making me stupidly powerful. That means I'm not going to use the Fortify Restoration glitch we all know and love, because that'll give you 1 billion health on your character and nothing will be able to kill you. Not a drop off of the world throat, nothing like that. So I don't want to make the game broken by doing something like that. And in general, I'd prefer to avoid crafting, because I like the idea of heavy armor and block and other abilities like that being things that you earn by your character being good at them and being capable of using those abilities with any armor, instead of having enchanted gear that's smithed with upgrades. Of course, with the Fortify Restoration glitch, you are going to be able to make a bow that can one-shot Alduin. You're going to be able to make your Amulet of Talos allow you to whirlwind sprint everywhere. It's fun for a little bit, but it just takes away the whole challenge and what makes a game worth playing, what makes combat exciting. It's going to be on legendary difficulty, and I will not err from this. However, I am going to be a bit of a Breton type Nord. That is one that doesn't face the problems with much courage, because he's going to be good at magic like Shalador. But I am going to try to avoid getting hit, because when I'm on legendary, if I have low health, not good armor, even the weak enemies are supposed to be really good, and they are in this game when you're playing legendary. Consequently, I'm going to be using things like abusing the follower as a thing for the AI to target in the early part of the game. I'm also going to be using conjured thralls like flame atronachs, stuff like that, to help divert the attention and to provide support fire. So maybe it's not the most sure Nordic Lorcan type playthrough where you take a big ol' axe and you use that alone in your armor, because I just don't know how viable that is on legendary. If somebody can do it, I'd be happy to see a playthrough. But in a way, I hope this video, this whole series, is going to help you guys learn about how your character can get better. And as a comparison, I will probably upload a series or a video showing the Fortify Restoration glitch in action, showing the crafting loop in action, showing different things like that just they make the game have no meaning. Because if you can go up to a Nordic grave and a skeleton and keep clicking his body and searching, getting the doors of oblivion, it has no real gameplay lore context to it. It's just you're exploiting a glitch, and there's no satisfaction in that. But as we go through this series, I'm going to be showing you different ways that you can still improve your character's combat effectiveness. I'll be discussing the merits of different skills, and you will learn something about how to play Skyrim better. So if you like this video, if you like my series, please subscribe and have a good day. So today I'm going to be discussing some skills you can rank up that will minimize your damage as a character and thereby make you more effective on your own without even having to rely on atronachs or a companion, which is a bit cowardly and would not fit like very good roleplay if you're playing the boilerplate standard Nord hero type, which I don't have a problem with. Of course, there are many good variations of roleplay you can do. You could do some type of Iliad, Elven, Thalmor maybe type guy that wears the armor of the Snow Elves. You could do a Dark Elf. So much you can do in this game. But for this playthrough, I'm going to try to play a good guy that maybe starts out with some wily tricks, like running from the enemy and being a person that relies on a follower tanking a bit, and magic, clever man tricks, as the Nords would say. And over time, he's going to develop into a character that has very good armor skills, can wear it very well, deflect damage, very good at blocking, and he's going to combine that with his elven style affinity for being good at magic, where he's going to cast a spell called Dragonhide, which is going to give you 80% reduction of all physical damage. What is critical with this is that it's going to stack with your armor rating. And if your armor rating, that is the thing that's applied first, is at max, you're already doing about 80. So the math works out to about 97% damage reduction. And this can be further minimized by using a shield that's raised to lower the damage further. What this means is that proportionally, on Legendary, even from fearsome enemies like dragons, the amount of physical damage that they are going to do is minimized. So what you want to do is rank up your heavy armor to 100. And a way to do that on Legendary is to go into the Reach, aggro some Forsworn Ravagers. What they're going to do is they're going to come after you, hit you. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a while if you want to do this in a fair way. If you want to do it in a owl eating the Tootsie Pop kind of way, lower the difficulty to novice, and then have them hit you. You will not take as much damage, so you can take more hits, but you'll take the base damage, which is what the experience is calculated on. And with that, you're going to rank up very quickly. If you stay on Legendary, you're going to be running around for a while, but it's doable as well if you never want to change that slider. In any case, you will eventually, with Legendary, take a lot of hits, but you're going to have to first probably have good Restoration. Restoration, in my opinion, is the linchpin of most every playthrough of Legendary, no doubt. And with Restoration, you're going to use something like Close Wounds to heal yourself with maybe dual wielding or a single one with your shield on the other hand. With this, you're going to be attacked a lot, you're going to have to run away, you're going to have to use your magical regeneration rate to heal yourself, but Forsworn Ravagers hit faster and do more damage than you can heal in the same amount of time. And that's with me having like maybe 410 magicka, so that's something to consider, that it does take a while in Legendary, and the Forsworn are quite ruthless. But at the end of it all, you can get your armor rating for, say, Nordic carved armor, a full set with the relevant perks of heavy armor and matching set, and the one that increases your armor with a full set of heavy armor. All of these will synergize, and you'll get about 400 armor rating. Now, what's better is to get 500 and reach the armor cap with Dragonplate or Daedric or something like Stalrim. All good armor types. Personally, I'm somebody that prefers to have the armor aesthetic that's good. So mixing and matching armor is a good way to do that. And in a case like that, you need to use more smithing. But I just don't like how artificial smithing can be to give you godlike defense, because I just feel like for roleplay, your character doesn't earn it. It just feels too easy in gameplay to sit in a safe part of Whiterun and craft and get good gear, but not actually be good at the fighting yourself. that is what we're trying to avoid in this gameplay. So once you do that, you're going to have close to the 80. Then you're going to have your alteration get to 100. You're going to take Tolfdir's Master Alteration quest, go to some rinky-dink old Nordic tomb, get Kapazine's Fang, and you're going to go and kill a dragon. You can easily find one at a place like Mount Anthor, for example. And when you do that, you use the Fang equipped and you open the infantry of the dead dragon. You get his heart scales, and boom, you go back to Winterhold. You finish the quest and you get Dragonhide. So now you've got your spell that with the related perks you're going to get 45 seconds of use. Cast it right before an engagement with enemies, and you're going to have optimal armor rating basically between those two spells. But then you can further minimize the damage when you're blocking when somebody attacks. But what I have grown to like about blocking is the shield charge ability. You have to be level 100 in block, so it'll take a while to get there, but from the methods I mentioned, it's not going to take as long as you think. And once you hit those 2 levels, you will have this perk, and when you sprint at an enemy, it'll knock them off their feet. Now, especially if you're dealing with one enemy like a Draugr Deathlord, you can just do this for a moment with a minimal amount of stamina. I only have 100 stamina total. And you're going to be able to knock them off their feet, strike them a few times with your sword, and then they're going to get up, and you just have to get a good handle of it with your sprint button, whatever it is. On PC, it might be a key or L1. Then you're going to charge them again. You can continuously do this, and it's pretty effective on human-sized enemies, even bears, up to something like that. Probably wouldn't work on dragons, I'm sure, or mammoths, but this is just a great way to stun lock your enemy, better than perhaps even something like the destruction spells dual cast. Now with those, they have the unique advantage of being able to stagger a dragon. If you're going through a game of Skyrim and you're going to do crafting, you can get to 100 enchanting and enchant 4 pieces of armor to do Fortify Destruction. This will make magic for destruction spells cost 0. And when you do this, you're going to have as much destruction spells as you want. So it's going to make destruction more viable, whereas normally it's got a high magicka cost for a minimal amount of damage compared to other means. Now, all of these things put together, if you have adequate health with your character, you're going to be able to take on most engagements. And from that point on, getting around level 100, which would take a while to do, some legendary ranks, so on and so forth, then you're going to have a good amount of health, so you can tank things outright. You're going to have minimizing of damage, and you will be able to survive engagements with poise. Now, how about magic? You can be a really great Nord with your armor and orc, and you could be the greatest physical guy in the world for warrior stuff. And then you don't have any magical affinity, and some Thalmor little twerp comes up with his lightning spell and makes mincemeat of you. Fortunately, in this game, magic defenses are pretty straightforward to acquire. You got magical resistance, and magical resistance is just a straight damage modifier capped at 85%, which will make your magical damage minimized. But if you have an inborn ability like the Nordic frost resistance, that'll stack if it's an elemental effect like frost damage from a dragon, or fire damage for a Dunmer will be further reduced. And if you have slots from items that you acquire, like say a randomly enchanted piece of armor, you can use that and you'll have further reduction with the elemental, because the elemental damage reduction will stack with the magic resistance. That sounds well and good. You're going to get low damage from magic. You're going to magical affinity. You're going to have the alteration tree filled out. And you'll maybe have something like the Shield of Ysgrimmar. And you'll have a ton of magic resistance. So you're good to go, right? Well, no, it can get even better. Easily better. Because you're going to have an Atronach perk from the alteration tree, which helps you absorb magicka. And it's counterproductive to summoning because it absorbs your summon spells cast upon you. But it is more effective for completely negating magicka. I'm not sure in this game, but I think it might restore your magicka even to absorb energy. Now, you can take that 30% perk and go to the Atronach Stone and get Atronach Standing Stone power, which gives you a passive 50% of magic absorption. Now you're at 80%. And what this means is that 8 out of 10 spells cast at you, or with a gout, it might be whatever, 8 out of 10 iterations will completely fail, negated, no damage. And the rest of the two are going to have 80% damage reduction. Consequently, you're going to have a character that can shrug off all kinds of dragon magic, elves that want to enslave you. You can take on vampires, everybody with magic. With this setup, if you have decent magicka, decent health, and you can use restoration as a bank of health to draw upon, you have perhaps the most effective rational build you can get in the game.